For those of you who are following these developments on this peace deal, normalized relation deals between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, we are following Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, who is addressing that in Hebrew back in Israel. The president announced this earlier today. We're following that very, very closely. In the meantime, our former ambassador to Germany, Rick Grinnell, weighed in on the significance of this a few minutes ago. Take a look.
I think for sure others will follow. We should quickly pursue Lebanon. The reality is, Neil, that we have been working on this peace deal for a very long time.
All right, Rick Grinnell. David Rubin joins us right now, the former mayor of Shiloh, Israel, a part of that historic West Bank, and that it's in the West Bank that we're getting signs right now as part of this deal. Israel will slow down annexing territories in that region for the time being. Mayor, very good to have you. The significance of Israel agreeing to do that, what do you make of it?
Well, first of all, it's significant, but I wouldn't read too much into it. You have to understand that this deal is huge. President Trump's tweet was not an exaggeration. It is huge because there have been covert relations between Israel and the Persian Gulf countries, including the UAE and Saudi Arabia. That's been going on for several years. You know, I wrote about it in my book, Trump and the Jews. But the truth is that this move is very significant at this time because the UAE is situated geographically opposite Iran. It's adjacent to Saudi Arabia and opposite Iran, and the struggle against Iran's nuclear program and Iran's aggression against its neighbors was the wheel that drove this peace agreement.
Mayor, right now with this deal, Israel has normalized relations with Egypt, Jordan, and of course the United Arab Emirates. I had the former ambassador to Germany, Rick Grinnell, say he thinks Lebanon will be next. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that at all. Hezbollah is controlled by Iran. Hezbollah, the terrorist organization that dominates Iran, and that dominates Lebanon, and that is financed by Iran, was established by Iran. And in fact, that big blast the other day was most likely ammunition or explosives that were being stored there by Hezbollah. Hezbollah controls Lebanon, and Iran controls Hezbollah. So no, I don't think Lebanon is next. I think Saudi Arabia may be next. I think that one of the other Persian Gulf countries may be next. By the way, let me just point out in reference to your earlier question about sovereignty, Israeli annexation over parts of the West Bank of Judea and Samaria, I believe that is going to happen before long. Okay, this is a short-term suspension that Israel is making in order to come to this agreement. They had to throw a bone to the UAE, and that's what actually happened. So there is an agreement. There is a suspension of the sovereignty move by Israel in Judea and Samaria, the so-called West Bank. But because of Israeli public opinion that is moving in that direction, that sovereignty declaration is going to happen. It may just happen a little bit later.
But do you think the UAE knows this, that this is not, this is just a tentative, short, brief measure, and that you'll resume that, because that might complicate this, right?
Well, look, the relationship between Israel and the UAE has been going on for some time. There have been the covert relations. Right. They have no illusions. You know, it's like when the United States moved its embassy to Jerusalem. There was a lot of talk about how it was going to create rioting and all kinds of rebellions in the Arab world, and the breaking off of relations between Israel and Jordan and the peace agreement with Egypt. Nothing happened. There was a lot of shouting, but nothing happened. And I think what this deal does, is it puts an end to the illusion that we've been told all of these years that the Palestinian issue is the crux of the problem in the Middle East. Peace in the Middle East will be achieved when Israel has peaceful relationships with all of its neighbors, and when we don't have illusions about Israel and what Israel is and what Israel represents and Israel's rights over its historic land. And what the Trump administration has done is to put an end to that illusion. The Trump administration has made it clear, and this to President Trump's credit, he took the lead. Obama and Biden, for 8 years, all they did was create tension with Israel, and there were no peace moves of any kind. But now, President Trump, in his 3.5 years, has done tremendous things to strengthen the relationship between Israel and its neighbors, and at the same time to strengthen the relationship between Israel and the United States.
Mayor David Rubin, very good catching up with you. Thank you very much for taking the time.